Well, your mom only finished high school and works part-time? So is she after money?
When my mother replied cleaning lady after my boyfriend Sam's father asked about her profession, Sam's entire family burst into laughter simultaneously.
No way. A cleaning lady? That's bottom of the barrel.
Oh no, I can't even imagine.
To insult my mother, who raised me all by herself, like this, there's no way I could become part of a family like this.
Well then, let's just say this conversation never happened.
I cut them off coldly. My name is Julie Turnberry. I turned 26 this year. I graduated from a state university with a degree in education, and I'm a math teacher at a public high school. I live a pretty fulfilling life. Today, I'm having a weekday date with my boyfriend, Sam, for the first time in a while. We're gonna have dinner at the place he reserved.
Sorry to keep you waiting. You must be tired from getting through the week.
Yeah, you must have been working hard every day as well.
He's the same age as me, graduated from med school, and is currently working as a resident. We met in a college club, and it's now our 5th year together. He's so kind and sincere, I feel like I don't even deserve someone like him. There were times when we struggled, like during our national exams and recruitment interviews, and we fought because we were stressed. But we always made up quickly and encouraged each other. While eating dessert, I was thinking that this nice restaurant seemed a bit pricier than usual, and suddenly he got a serious look on his face.
My residency period is almost over. Being a doctor is a tough job, but I want to work hard to become fully qualified. With you, Julie, will you marry me?
With that, he offered me a ring.
Sam.
I looked straight at him, my eyes welling up.
Yes, please. I'm so happy. I think I can always support you, too.
I accepted it, my voice trembling. I'm sure Mom will be happy too, that's what I thought. My mother, Michelle, lost her husband when she was young and raised me all by herself. Apparently, my grandfather, her father, once suggested they live together, but she refused and continued on with just the two of us. The first time I met my grandparents was when I was in upper elementary school.
I married against my parents' wishes, so I was too proud to rely on them when I was young. Because of that, you might have had a harder time.
My mother always said that, but I didn't feel like I had suffered. She was always positive and kind, giving me unconditional love, my most important person and the woman I look up to. When we went to tell her about our engagement, she gave us her heartfelt blessing.
Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. You'll definitely be happy with Sam.
Thank you, Mom. I look forward to your continued support.
Mom had tears in her eyes, and Sam made a strong declaration. Feeling happy with those two, I said,
We need to meet your parents, too.
Thanks. I was in an all-boarding middle and high school, and I lived alone in college, so I only see my family every once in a while. But I'm sure they'll be happy.
You should make sure to greet Sam's family properly. You're gonna be a family now.
Mom was genuinely supportive. Sam's family was said to be a family of doctors. His father is a physician, and his mother is a homemaker. He also has a younger brother who's 8 years younger.
I hope we can get along, but I get nervous just thinking about meeting them.
It'll be fine. I'll book a place for us to meet.
Yeah, thanks. I'm nervous, but I'm looking forward to it.
I believed we had a bright future ahead of us. That was until that day. Then came the day of our family meeting, 2 months later. We were waiting in a private room at an Italian restaurant when his parents and brother arrived a little late.
Nice to meet you. This is my mother.
This is my dad, who runs an internal medicine clinic, my mom, a homemaker, and my brother, John, who's a high school senior.
Sam and I introduced our families to each other. As expected, his parents, being from a family of doctors, were well dressed. However, John had dyed blonde hair, a messy uniform, and was glued to his phone, looking a bit wild. After we finished introducing ourselves, Sam started the conversation.
I want to marry her.
Hearing that, his father stroked his mustache and gently reprimanded him, saying,
Let's start by learning about her family first.
Right? If we're gonna be a family, we need to know about the other family and what they're like.
His mother was also looking at us with an appraising gaze.
So, where's your father today?
It's odd. They should have already been informed by Sam that I come from a single-mother family. When I explained,
My father passed away when I was little, and my mother has been raising me ever since.
John, sitting with an arrogant attitude, exaggeratedly distorted his face and said,
Whoa, no way. A single mom? Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, how? My mother raised me all on her own to this point, and I'm truly grateful to her.
I couldn't help but raise my voice.
Hey, watch your mouth. Put that phone away first.
When Sam reprimanded him, he turned away with a sulky expression.
You're a high school teacher, right?
His mother now turned her attention to me.
Yes, I teach math at a public high school.
As if waiting for my answer, his family spoke their true thoughts all at once.
A teacher, huh? We don't have any teachers in our family, and in math. Doesn't seem suitable for our son, does it?
It would have been better if he married the daughter of another doctor.
Public high school teacher? Sounds dull and poor. A different world compared to me, who's already recommended for a private medical school.
I was stunned by their words, and Sam raised his voice.
Julie is an amazing woman. She works hard and is very dedicated to her jobs. Don't talk like that.
Then his father gave my mother a sharp look.
Just because you've promised to marry doesn't mean we've agreed. A single mother household and a teacher. So, what about your mother? May I ask about her education and job?
My mother answered firmly.
I've done various jobs since my husband passed away. I currently work as a cleaning lady at hospitals and schools. I only have a high school education, but...
Before she could even finish, his family exchanged glances and started laughing.
No way. Only high school education? And moving from one part-time job to another. Must have been quite poor.
His father completely knocked my mother.
Wow, even a high school grad would be bad enough. And now you're a cleaning lady. That's as low as it gets.
John had a completely condescending look too.
Your mother only graduated high school and works part-time as a cleaner? Oh no, what a life. I can't even imagine it as someone marrying into a family of doctors. Is this marriage about the money?
His mother furrowed her brow dramatically, adding fuel to the fire.
Just as I thought. I absolutely can't approve of this marriage.
His father declared it as if it were a conclusion. What kind of people are these? I was stunned and speechless. I could forgive anything said about me, but mocking the mother who raised me alone, I couldn't stand it. There was no way I could become part of a family like this. Stopping my mother, who was about to stand up, I stood up instead.
I understand how you all feel. In that case, let's say this engagement never happened. Is that acceptable?
I said coldly, my face expressionless. After a brief moment of silence, Sam's family looked at each other and burst out laughing again.
Getting up suddenly, and this is what she says. As if we were the ones being refused.
What's with the suddenness? You realized you'd be turned down, and now you want to claim it's your pride making you refuse us?
His parents spoke triumphantly.
Wait, no, that's not it.
Unable to bear his parents' behavior, Sam hurriedly intervened.
I'm sorry. I can't be part of a family like this.
I'm really sorry for what my family has said.
Seeing the serious exchange between Sam and me, his parents finally stopped laughing.
Whoa, why are you apologizing?
That's right, we'll find a girl more suitable for you. Maybe another doctor, or maybe the daughter of a wealthy family.
I stopped Sam, who was about to speak, and asked instead.
Would it be okay if it were the daughter of a wealthy family?
Of course, why not? If she's wealthy, it doesn't matter if she's not a doctor. She could even support our clinic, right?
That's right. In fact, that might be even better for us.
Their bragging continued. In that case, maybe it's time I tell them the truth.
So, you're just throwing away such a chance?
What?
His family looked at me with puzzled expressions, unable to understand my words.
What do you mean? Are you saying that if you and our son get married, we stand to gain some wealth?
Where would a part-time cleaning lady and an ordinary teacher get that kind of money?
Seeing his mother and brother, Sam sighed and rubbed his temple.
What's going on? You've been acting strange.
To his father's clueless question, he responded.
Didn't you hear their introductions earlier? Didn't the name Turnberry mean anything to you?
He raised his face quickly.
What about it? It wasn't worth remembering. Turnberry? Hum?
His father seemed to have realized something.
As you seem to have figured out, my grandfather is the chairman of Turnberry Academy. My mother here is his daughter.
What? Turnberry Academy? You mean that one? From kindergarten through university, and it even has a medical school and a university hospital.
His father looked astonished, his eyes wide open.
Yes, that Turnberry Academy. You're familiar with it, aren't you?
This time, it was my turn to take the upper hand.
No way. There's no way the daughter of Turnberry Academy would only have a high school education and work as a cleaning lady.
That's right. Such an obvious lie. If you're gonna lie, at least make it more convincing.
Since his parents still refused to believe me, I decided to tell them more.
I said my mother works as a cleaning lady at hospitals and schools, right? I was referring to the academy's schools and university hospital.
What?
Working as a cleaning lady is just a front. I wouldn't call it an internal investigation, but her job is to observe what's happening at the academy while cleaning and report anything noteworthy. My grandfather asked her to do this personally. If you think I'm lying, feel free to ask.
What?
No way.
Finally, they seemed to realize the credibility of what I was saying. His parents suddenly started stammering and panicking.
Why? Why didn't you say something this important sooner?
Yes, if we'd known that, we.
This is what happens when you don't listen to people until the end. What fools!
I was willing to answer any questions, but you interrupted me before I could explain. I can't forgive how you've insulted not just me, but my dear mother.
I replied calmly. The reason my mother only finished high school was because she had been in poor health as a child. My grandfather had other children who could inherit the family estate, so he prioritized my mother's health over her education. After graduating from high school, my mother moved to a countryside villa to focus on treatment and recovery until she was healthy again. It was there that she met and fell in love with my father. My grandparents, who had intended for her to marry someone from a suitable family, had a huge falling out with her, and she married my father, essentially running away from home, refusing to rely on her family at all. When her husband passed away, my grandparents learned that she was raising me alone and tried to convince her to come back, but my mother didn't comply immediately.
It was partly out of pride.
She used to say. Knowing my mother, she probably felt ashamed to go back home crying after leaving of her own accord. But over time, the desire to see her granddaughter grew on both sides. Gradually, we began interacting more, and over the years, our relationship was mended. She reverted to using the Turnberry surname, of course, for my sake. Sam's brother looked bewildered, unable to comprehend the situation, so I directed a question to him.
You said you were recommended for medical school. At which university?
What?
Suddenly being asked, John panicked.
How rude. It's Lakeland Academy University's medical school. Oh.
At that moment, his mother was struck by realization.
Lakeland Academy is a sister school of Turnberry Academy. If I tell them about what happened today, your acceptance could very well be revoked, right?
Hey, you can't be serious.
That's right. The recommendation has already been finalized. We even paid a bribe to make up for his lacking grades. There's no way we're losing it now.
His father let it slip.
Bribe?
Sam and I shouted in unison.
You went that far, Dad?
No, that's not what I meant.
His father, who was obviously flustered, was being cornered. His mother and brother beside him were turning pale.
Recommending someone with such a sloppy attitude, so it really was about the money. Did you bribe the homeroom teacher?
No, that's not it.
As I recall, the chairman of Lakeland Academy is my uncle. If I report this, I'm sure they'll investigate it properly.
What authority do you have, acting all high and mighty?
This time, Sam's mother snapped at me, her face flushed with anger.
I don't have any authority. But I've been told that eventually, I'll be working at Turnberry Academy.
What?
That's right. I earned my teaching license with the expectation that I would work at the academy someday, and to gain experience in different settings, I started as a public school teacher. After saying this much, Sam's mother's tone suddenly softened.
Let's take a moment to calm down, everyone. Let's put what happened today behind us. Depending on your attitude, we could approve of the marriage. It's a good deal for both of us, don't you think?
Yeah, that's right. I'm the heir to the clinic, and a marriage like this requires parental approval. You want to marry Sam, don't you?
His father was now completely trying to appease me. John added,
I'll let you marry, so just make sure not to tell anyone about me.
Facing these selfish three, Sam spoke up.
We don't need your approval for marriage. I'm cutting all ties with you guys.
What?
His family stared at him in shock.
I always thought you guys were arrogant, flaunting the fact that we come from a family of doctors, but I never imagined you'd act like this at such an important first meeting with my fiancé.
Hey, what are you saying?
Yeah, you can't just cut ties with us.
Ignoring his parents' stammering protests, Sam continued calmly.
I'm deeply ashamed of the way you spoke to Julie and her mother, and trying to bribe your way to get John into med school. How foolish can you be?
What?
I have no respect for you anymore. I don't consider you guys family. I'm going to marry her and be happy. Don't ever contact me again.
Sam's declaration of disownment left his parents floundering.
What do you mean? You're not taking over the clinic?
No way. If John doesn't get into med school, we won't have anyone to take over.
Sam brushed off their desperate pleas effortlessly.
I have no intention of taking over. The university has offered me a position as a surgeon, and I'd rather work in surgery than stay here and be an internist.
What?
Let John take over the clinic.
Wait, reconsider. There are patients who come because they believe you'll take over.
That's right. We'd be in trouble if you don't take it.
Sam, I'd have nowhere to work in the future. Say you'll take over.
Ignoring his family's pleas, Sam turned to my mother.
I'm truly sorry. I'm cutting ties with my family today and want to build a life with Julie. Please allow us to marry.
His voice was trembling just slightly.
You have nothing to apologize for. I didn't fall in love with you because you're a doctor. I fell in love with you because you're kind and sincere.
Standing beside her, my mother nodded.
That's right. I know you're a kind and wonderful young man. Being a surgeon is incredible, and I want to support the two of you in your dreams and happiness.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sam thanked my mother repeatedly, and she smiled warmly at him. His family looked on in stunned silence.
Mom, let's go home. There's no reason to stay here any longer.
Yes, let's leave. If there's anything more you want to say, you know where to find us.
My mother said this as she left the Academy's legal advisor's business card behind. 1 year later, Sam and I got married and are happily living together. He stayed at the university and now works diligently as an excellent surgeon. Though he's incredibly busy with little sleep, I'm happy to see him so full of life in his work. My grandfather, who has taken a liking to Sam, says,
We'll bring him to our university hospital in the future.
As for his family, first, the bribery regarding John was confirmed, and the homeroom teacher who had accepted the money faced strict disciplinary action. With his poor behavior and lack of grades, John's recommendation was revoked. He attempted to get into med school through general admission, but of course, failed. Apparently, he's repeating the year and continuing his studies, but with his attitude, it's doubtful how seriously he's taking it.
That kid needs to put in some effort, experience hardship, and learn empathy.
Sam said with a shrug. The family clinic began losing patients because of the head doctor's arrogant attitude. Many had hoped for Sam to take over, but with that hope gone, the clinic's decline accelerated. Sam's mother, with her difficult personality, faced rejection from the nurses and staff, and most of them quit. Word of the bribe for college admission spread, and they were shunned by relatives and others in the industry, ultimately leading to the clinic's closure. As for me, my grandfather suggested that I contribute to management, not just teaching, in the future, so I've begun studying educational institution management. With guidance from my uncle and colleagues, I want to grow and be of help to them little by little. Seeing this, my mother said,
I'm so happy that the family is coming together again.
It's me who feels grateful to hear that. I want to repay them even more in the future. Every day is incredibly busy with so much to learn, but supported by my beloved mother and husband, I'm thankful for a fulfilling life, indeed.